Hello everyone, my name is Larseth and welcome to the first video on one of the many farms in World of Warcraft that I'm going to be showing you. Now obviously when I say farm I don't mean like half-hill farm, I mean farming instances or whatever for essentially gold. So today we're going to be looking at Zul'Farrak, which is in Tanaris, or Tanaris depending on your pronunciation, down over in Kalimdor. So it's easy to get through. In Dalaran there is a portal that goes to Caverns of Time and you can just fly over, so it's pretty easy. So what I'm going to be using for this farm is Bear Tartar, which is basically a food which you make in Legion, which gives you a short sprint or speed increase essentially after you kill a mob. So it's really useful for farming, not just here but anywhere really. So we're going to be doing that. So what we'll do is we'll jump in. I'm not going to record the whole farm here. What I'm going to do is just show you what route I take and my add-ons and stuff like that. And I will do a few cuts to various points in the farm where there are any notes which I think which are worthwhile making. And at the end, I'll go through and give you an example of basically the money I got from individual runs. So you can go in either direction because it's clockwise instance. I tend to go round this way personally. That's just absolute personal preference. The only thing worth mentioning for this is that this instance here, or this boss here, you have to go to the top of this pyramid. You have to stop the execution of some of the captives. They will walk, and then you have to kill a bunch of mobs around here, then 2 bosses will spawn, kill them, some more people, the people that you released will then come to the bottom, you have to kill them, and then this door will open, and then you can go up and kill these bosses. Some people, quite rightly, will skip this, because it adds probably an extra 2 minutes onto the farm in total. I do it anyway, just because I'm not too worried about min-maxing it, but that's just something worth bearing in mind. So you can just go through here, get the mobs that are here and leave the boss, and then just continue going on, and then obviously you'll have to leave this as well. So it's totally up to you. So I will cut to probably one bit that's worth pointing out other than that, which is related to this area here. But other than that, I will see you at the end of the video where we'll go through some of the examples of how much I got and what items I got from each run. So yeah, see you then. Right, so this is sort of the main point I wanted to show you to bear in mind and to remember to do. Is quite useful. And there's also another point in this, is that you'll notice I'm using the chauffeur, which is obtained by getting a certain number of heirloom items. And the reason I'm using this is because technically Mr. Franklin Martin here, the transporter, is the one driving this. It means that it protects you essentially from being dazed. So regardless of your level, you can still be knocked off your mount. And when there's as many mobs hitting you as there tend to be in these dungeons, it's quite useful not to be dazed. So I would recommend using this mount if you have it. It's not the end of the world if you don't, however. So the reason I wanted to point out this is in this section here, which Dr. Zumra, is that all these graves are clickable. So you can see if you click these graves, all of these zombies appear. So you get items from these graves. I don't believe you can actually get any greens from these graves, or I might be wrong. Maybe I just don't remember ever getting one for myself. However, these zombies, you can get plenty of decent stuff off of. So I would say it's important you go around and click on all of these and see what you can get. Because I know before I have got stuff out of the graves that's been quite useful. Most of it will be trash and like really small amounts of stuff, but the whole purpose in doing old dungeons really is to kill as many mobs as possible, because it's only by killing numbers of mobs that you stand a chance of getting, you know, the rare drops and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for this little section of the guide. Back continuing farming for me. Right, so I have finished a few runs around Zul'Farrak. And so I thought I'd show you some of the statistics I had from these and previous runs. So in these 6 runs that I've done, I did it in 2 blocks of 3. These are the total looted item values. Now, this doesn't include trash sales. So those, I would estimate that for every run you do, you will get approximately 25 gold worth of trash and raw gold collectively. So it's not that much at all, but then it is it's like level 40 something dungeon, so I wouldn't expect too much. So as you can see, the total looted item value varies quite a lot. So this one, I got essentially 20,000 gold's worth of items, and some of these only got 6,800. So I mean, still, you're at least getting a few grand per run, and given it only takes you approximately 12 to 15 minutes, you know, it is a pretty good earner. I mean, there are certainly other places you can go which are far better, but this is beautiful just because of how easy it is. It is a very, very easy dungeon to run. It's very simple. It's quick. It takes 12 to 15 minutes. The reason I didn't show per hour is because the time will vary. In this one, I spent 23 minutes in there. So clearly I must have stopped and, you know, gone walking off somewhere to go do something. Maybe the door rang or something like that. So, yeah. So these are the sort of values you can expect. Of course, you might be really lucky and it might go much, much, much higher. Or equally, it might go lower. I mean, I hate clickbaity titles saying, oh, you'll be getting hundreds of thousands of gold. You might, if you're lucky. Or equally, you might get, you know, like 1 or 2 grand in a run. It's totally down to RNG. So I'm not going to promise any brilliant returns, but it's certainly a solid suggestion that you come and have a go here. It's very easy, very quick, and is definitely good for building up stock of transmogs if you're just getting into the transmog market, or even if you're just trying to build up some basic capital. So I would definitely recommend giving Zul'Farrak a go through. So I hope you found this guide somewhat helpful, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care.